All right, reptiles have scales, amphibians don't. That's one of the basic differences between them.
Several characteristics make reptiles and amphibians different from the millions of animals across the animal kingdom. You might see these things as cool or weird.
I think they're cool. Herpetologist David Nieves he's here to educate us. His daughter Mia joins us as well, as usual.
Nice to see you
both of you guys.
Hey, Mia.
Yeah, hi Mia. Where do you want to start? Because we got a couple cool things on the table here.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Kind of all over the place, actually. First of all, we went out this weekend and we caught these. These are actually little toadlets. These are called woodhouse toads.
I'm going to spin them around so the camera can see them that way.
Baby toads, is that what you mean?
Yeah, there's 29 of them in there.
Wow,
we went down to that's when they first go from tadpole to toad. That's how big they are.
They're about maybe half the size of a dime.
Oh, even smaller. You could put 4 of those on a dime.
Oh, wow.
And they start out, the female can lay 20,000 eggs. And out of those 20,000 eggs, they turn into tadpoles, and then maybe only a couple hundred of them might actually make it into little baby toads.
Where did you find these at?
We were down at a pond near the river.
And you know where to look? I mean, where do you look?
Right now, anywhere near water, you will find a bunch of these. And they look like little crickets hopping around near the pond. And I always tell people, just be careful. Those are little baby toads.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Hey, and what's in here?
Okay, up in here, and then a couple months later, this is how big they are. But see, they'll go from 20,000 eggs to maybe a couple hundred babies to then maybe only about 10 or 20 juveniles.
So this is a
and
good
of
time?
all those eggs are laid.
Yeah, most of them don't survive.
So how many, 10, 20 survive?
You might only have a couple adults out of 20,000 eggs.
Oh, wow.
I
so
saw these
really
a lot
rough
growing
time.
up in Kentucky, but
Yes.
they're here too. So
yeah.
all over the country.
Oh, yeah.
When they're these little toadlets, how come they don't survive?
Look
What
at that
happens
guy.
to them?
Like,
They
get
have a
me
lot
outta
of
here.
predators. They have a lot of things. Of course, down their ponds, people might accidentally step on them. So, oh, that's so cute. So they have a lot of things they got to watch out for. So I always try to tell people, when you see these little things hopping around, be nice to them. They have a tough time.
What else did you bring
Well,
us,
one of the
David?
reasons they have a tough time is because of these guys.
Oh, hello!
Yeah.
Yeah,
Watch
snakes.
out, David.
Yeah.
Now we're holding.
Oh, we've got 2.
Yeah. And Mia, what are these?
Hognose snakes.
Yeah, these are hognose snakes.
Hognose.
And hognose snakes are native to Nebraska. We have 2 species of hognose in Nebraska. And these guys eat lots of toads and frogs. And they have that little pointy nose. And one of the things, and these snakes are fun because this is the cool part about them. They can actually play dead.
Really? They roll over on their backs?
They roll over on their back. If you come across one of these, they'll get startled. They'll roll over on their back, hang their head like this, stick their tongue out, and they'll put out this really nasty smell.
So
It smells like
dramatic.
a rotting. It smells like a rotting
wow.
flesh. Yeah.
Well, it's not going to do it now. It's not going to.
No,
That
these are
interesting.
captive bred, so they're too calm. And if they're sitting like that, they're on their back playing dead, and you flip them over, they flip back.
Oh, really?
Isn't that
And keep playing
So
interesting?
you can't even wake them up. I mean, they're awake, but
they're
Yeah.
like, they keep up the act.
We only said playing possum, but we should have been
Oh,
saying
playing hognose.
playing hognose.
I know,
That's
and
great.
Mia decided to name these. What did you name them?
Wilbert and Hoggy the Hognose.
Wilder and Hoggy the Hognose. And we
great.
actually borrowed these, so now they have names. I have to tell the person who owns them they have names now.
Perfect.
Sorry.
What else did you bring in,
Well,
David?
but one of the quick thing about them is
Yeah.
that they have when they go to eat a toad, toads will swell up. They puff up their bodies with air, and so it makes it hard for them to get swallowed by a snake. However, hognose snakes have extra large teeth in the back of their mouth that they use to do what, Mia?
Pop the toad.
Yes.
pop the toad. So they pop the toad. They just poke
Yes,
a little hole
they
in the
do.
toad.
They and they to let the air out so they
So
can
that
swallow
they
the
can
toad.
them.
have lunch.
Yeah.
I get it.
I know, kind of harsh. Okay.
And this time of year, David, is it good for finding reptiles and amphibians out in the wild?
We've had such a cool summer, so yeah. They're out there. They're active. Usually in the real heat of the summer, they all
Yeah.
go underground. They all hide, and it's hard to spot them. But
Mia,
in the
can you
heat of the
tell
summer,
me
they're out.
what do you have here, Mia? What is that?
Salamander.
That's a salamander.
What's cool or weird about them,
Well,
David?
first, here's the weird
They
thing.
look-
This is a tiger salamander,
Tiger
which is
salamander.
native to around here. Tiger salamanders, let's say a female might lay, several, a couple thousand eggs in a pond. And if there's a lot of babies in a small pond, there's a lot of competition for food. So some of the salamander larvae will actually quickly grow very large heads and become cannibalistic and start eating other babies.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
It's all for
Brought
survival.
the mood
Yeah.
down.
So
pretty
yeah, I
quickly
know. I'm
there,
sorry.
David.
I know. That was really out there.
Heading south there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
sorry.
I'm filing that under
I
weird.
know. So and even I say that's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's
Mia,
weird.
is Mary allowed to hold the salamander?
Sure.
Is this
She can
docile
have
enough?
Very,
yeah.
very,
good.
very.
You better hold that thing.
As long as you're not holding a worm
Is
in
it
your
slimy?
hand.
It looks slimy.
They're a little slimy. Sorry.
Yeah.
I tell you that after you get it.
What's this? Is
You're
it skin
so
coming off of it, or is
interesting.
it
It's just a little bit of gunk. There you go.
gunk.
Little bit of.
Perfect. All right. So while we're getting well acquainted, what else do you have?
Well, the other quick thing
It's
about
like
the
a pickle.
salamanders.
Feels like a
it
pickle.
does. It feels like a pickle moving up my
Put your
arm.
hand on the other side. The other thing about them
Let it
too is
fall.
now here's the cool part. Salamanders can regenerate limbs.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
not just toes or not just a tail, but an entire limb. They can regenerate parts of their internal organs, even like an eye. And what they can actually do is they can either, depending on the species, they can either turn on stem cells to create new organs and new things, or they can turn regular cells into stem cells.
Did you tell the people at UNMC this?
It's being studied right
Are
now.
they studying
Are they
this?
studying
It's being
it?
studied right
Yeah.
now.
That's
Because we're trying to figure out if they can turn those things, how can we trigger that too? And so right now, those pathways are being studied, and it's a whole new process, and it's amazing.
We have Dr. Koppel's coming on a little bit later in the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to let him know about this research that's going
we
on.
love it.
I'm sure he knows about it.
Because here, this creature that's ignored and people don't even think about,
Like,
and
what's
it may
it
have
good
the
for?
key for saving human lives and helping
Wow,
human
isn't that
condition.
interesting? Now that is cool.
That is.
So I'm going to maybe move.
What else do we? Oh,
snake.
yeah,
It's
you
gorgeous.
didn't talk- Can we?
It's
can you-
gorgeous, but it's
what-
quite large, David. What
That
is
is
that?
large.
Good, you can go.
Are we
It's
safe there?
okay, she's fine.
Does that bite?
Oh, you don't have to. You're okay.
Does it bite?
Oh no, no,
Well,
no. This is another one that I borrowed.
It doesn't bite Mia.
Is it?
This is a rainbow boa. And
a
Mia, what
rainbow
did
boa?
you name the rainbow boa?
Salamander.
Chrysanthemum.
And
Yeah, you're
sweet
really
little
good
flower.
at this.
I borrowed this. I borrowed this snake also, and I'm sorry the snake is now named Chrysanthemum. You have to change. So, but
Why did you name it chrysanthemum?
Why did you pick it? Why did you pick
Very
that name?
active.
Because it's just like a rainbow name.
Okay.
It's a rainbow name.
Yeah, 'cause
it's
so
a
pretty.
beautiful animal. What's
And
cool or weird here, David?
This
a
snake here, you can
constrictor,
see
isn't it?
these. You can see those marks right there
Yeah.
along the edge of the face. There we go. So we'll turn it this way. There you go. There you can see them. Those are not teeth. Those are actually thermoreceptors. This snake can sense heat. And it can do that actually. There's protein channels in the pits. It gets really complicated, but basically that react to heat. So right now, your body, you're a human, 98.6 degrees. And so basically this snake right now is getting, because they have bad eyesight, but it's getting a thermal image of you sitting there, of your infrared heat. So basically what this is saying that to a snake, all humans are hot. There you go.
Yeah, all humans are.
I know.
we're all-
I know. Yeah. So if you don't feel good about yourself, you can say, well, listen, at least snakes think I'm hot. I'm just saying.
Well, David, do snakes? Will that eat a salamander here? Because it keeps staring.
This
at me.
one would not.
Well, it's not
Yeah,
gonna come
this
after
one
us,
would
is
not.
it?
Yeah, this one would be mice, rats, and birds.
We have a minute-ish left.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to show us? And I'd love to know about your history too, for our viewers who haven't caught your appearances
Yeah, good
before.
point.
Yeah, I mean you're the real deal. You're not
Oh,
just
yes.
an
Yeah,
enthusiast.
Yeah,
This is science for
this
you.
isn't just I just like snakes. I grew up just fascinated with these creatures. Always wanted to learn about them, and of course, impart this with the younger generation. And I always wanted to go into science and herpetology, and that's what I did. And so I actually have traveled around the world, studied these animals in the wild, and fieldwork, papers, genetic research. And so this is a profession, not a hobby.
And that's
A
something.
couple of the books you've written that we're looking at as well.
Yes, yeah. I wrote those 2 books for children, and I do wildlife photography. Like I said, I've been around the world. And I take it very serious because of the science about these animals is fascinating to me.
You know, had you been around when I was a kid, I'm sure you were. Right?
Yeah,
but
I turned 50
Thanks.
this year.
I
He
may not be.
appreciates that.
I may not be as scared of snakes as I because I'm terrified of snakes. I don't like snakes at all. You don't like them either, do you?
I'm
Mary?
not a huge fan, but I love lizards.
But I guess
Yeah,
that's,
I
that's
remember.
part of
Love
my
lizards.
point is you want to educate kids about these because snakes aren't. I mean, they're not as scary as some
well,
people think
and
they are.
they play a valuable role in our ecosystem.
We need them.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need
Yeah.
them. I cannot stress that enough. Just one thing, like here in Nebraska,
Watching me
there's a rise
handle.
in rodent spread disease. And snakes eat the mice and rats. People say, oh, what about my cat? Cats can spread the same disease as mice and rats spread. Snakes do not.
Well, and it's so interesting watching Mia handle chrysanthemum. She doesn't flinch, and Mike and
Oh,
I are
no.
over here.
She's grown up doing
slightly
this.
uncomfortable. David, thank
distracted
you.
by the
Thank you
salamander.
for coming in. We've got to
love
run,
being
but
on
it's
here.
always great to have you on the show. Mia, thanks for coming in too.
Thanks,
It's good
Mia.
to see you.
Yeah,
She's
David,
so
good to see you,
sweet.
buddy.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.